Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's been a while. I've missed everyone, but I took a little bit of time, a little R&R, rest and relaxation. It is the middle of winter here in the Washington, D.C. area. It is January the 10th. 2 days ago, we just had a snowstorm. If you've been following the East Coast weather, we had about 8 inches here. The ground was covered, still covered actually. Haven't been out in the garden. But over the last couple days, I started going through sorting out some seeds that I have from last summer, some new seeds that have already come in, and then I'll have more coming up as well. But as most of you all know, we all kind of go out and buy this generic potting soil, whatever name brand you pick up. Quite honestly, I'm not in love with any of it. A lot of it over the last few years has really turned into just junk. If you pick it up, I'll just grab a handful, and you have everything from twigs, sticks. You have some composted material, some perlite, and some other stuff. But for me, I don't like using just generic potting mix, garden soil, whatever. So I have a little hack here that I've used for the last few years. All you're gonna need is you buy the generic. I recommend buying the cheapest potting mix because you can always amend it to how you wish. Find the cheapest that you can find. I think this bag, this is left over from last year, is about 10 bucks, right? And to me, that's ridiculous for just generic potting mix. So what you're gonna need here is find yourself just an empty bucket. This is just a plastic, I think like a 3-gallon planter, pot, whatever. Go by the dollar store, get yourself a colander sifter, $1.25, bought this. And all you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna grab some of your potting mix, the generic mix from the store, crumble it up into your colander, and then you're just gonna sift it out. And what you're doing here is you're getting all of the broken down material. See all those big chunks and hunks that are left in there? We're getting rid of those. Now we're still gonna use those, and I'll show you how. But what you end up with, and I haven't even pushed this down, I'm just sifting it out, and I'm gonna dump the rest into a box. I just have a leftover box here that I'm gonna use this, right? But now look what we're left with. We're left with this beautiful aerated potting mix that has perlite and fertilizers in it, and it's gonna be so easy to germinate with this type of a mixture. And what I've used the last couple of years is this is a 200 cell seed tray. It's not that deep. They're only about a 1-inch square. But I get 10 rows of 20. Why is that beneficial to me or to you? I'm an urban gardener. I don't have a big greenhouse. I don't have a farm. I don't have all this land, right? But on a countertop in my kitchen, I can take a 200 cell tray like this and germinate 200 seeds. So I'll show you in a second here how I've started, where I can now get 10 different vegetables. I can plant 20 different seeds. Even if we don't get 100% germination, I'm way ahead of some of those 6-packs or 4-packs. Those cell trays, yes, they're good because you can leave them germinated in those cell packs a little bit longer, so you're not irritating the root system. But for this purpose in an urban environment, these 200 seed trays are really, really beneficial to me. All right, back in the garage, as you see here, I have a 200 cell seed tray. I do have the dome cover over top to kind of help acclimate and keep it nice and moist. I will also suggest you want to probably mist these trays at least once a day for the first week or so. Because the seed cells are so small, they do tend to dry out. Let me go ahead and remove this top tray, excuse me, the cover. And if you see here, we're already getting some germination, right? We have, what is this? Poblano peppers are starting to germinate. Salsa peppers, pepperoncini, jalapeno, a green bell, a market red, salsa, poblano. Then I also have some Swiss chard, some kale, and some kohlrabi that I've added to get this acclimated and get this growing. Germination, this has only been in here about 4 days now. I just did it over that snow day we had Monday, today's Friday. So yeah, 4 days. We're already starting to see some germination from the peppers. I also did a small tray here of collards. And then I also did an aluminum tray here of some butter crunch lettuce. And then if you swing back over here, this one was the 29th of January. And I'll carefully remove this lid. And you see here, I have squash. I have some bunching onions starting. And then I also have a broccoli here. Broccoli got about a 80% germination rate. Now these are not in the these are in the 72 cell trays. But once again, I'm getting 72, 200, another 72. So it really adds up if you have a small footprint where you can germinate in this small little space. You've seen my light system before. I have 2 little countertops in the garage here that allow me all this germination, right? Yes, is it early to germinate? Of course. So what I was saying is that, yes, is it early to germinate? Yes, it's January, mid-January, the 10th today. Yes, but I'm also doing this for 2 purposes. One, for training purposes of this video of how you can get started germinating and then up pot as you go. But in addition, it's also showing me now what type of germination rate am I getting from the seeds left over for last season. I already have brand new seeds that I've ordered that'll be coming in very soon in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to see what type of germination rate am I actually achieving from the seeds that I saved from 2024 from last summer. So with that being said, I wish everyone a whole lot of luck. We're going to be doing a lot of content this spring. We're going to get outside. We're going to see what the garden conditions are. Remember, I planted garlic. I planted onions. There's some broccoli. There's some kohlrabi. There's some kale. There's some Swiss chard. Some of it has probably gotten burnt with the snowfall. Some of it is covered, especially the garlic and the onions. We put down that nice layer of leaf mulch in the beds. I know they had sprouted right before Christmas. I was in the garden out there, and then some of them had already popped up. I've experienced that with garlic and onions before. They overwinter extremely well. The leafy greens, not so much, but hopefully in the next week or 2, we can get out there and see what's been growing. And guys, try these methods. They're real simple. If you're in an apartment, you have a small area maybe in your basement that you can set up a small little grow system. Kind of test it out now. Get acclimated for the season. See what's germinating good for you, right? You're kind of fooling the plants to thinking it's time for them to take off. But why not figure out what you're doing now so you know what your germination rate is going to be? That's going to help you in the long run throughout the summer in acclimating your garden and continuing to have a bountiful crop. So guys, if this video has been helpful, I appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel to show you how you can garden in an urban environment just like me. It's very simple. You have to have patience and you do your own research. If you guys have any comments down below, if you've done anything similar to this or maybe something a little bit different, I'd love to hear from you. Post some comments down below. Let's interact and see what's working in your environment, similar to mine here in the Washington, D.C. area. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pack it up for this one. Hopefully I'll see you by the end of this weekend. Hopefully a lot of that snow has dissipated and we'll be able to get outside a little bit and try to navigate around on what we're going to do. So for now, I bid you goodwill. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you wish. I'd love to have you as part of our family here at Urban Gardener DC. I'll see you on the next one.